The opening game of the 2025 NBA playoff series have brought some surprises. On today's episode, we're going to talk about those surprises, all and more, right after this.
Welcome to the number one place for your daily basketball news and analysis, NBA Central.
What's going on, basketball fans? Welcome to another episode of NBA Central, your number one spot for everything basketball related. I'm the host, Sarah Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at NBA Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go and get into this content for today, y'all. And the NBA playoffs got off started with a crazy bang when it all came down to it. It's been a wild round of games already, and just game ones is going on around the NBA. Some surprises as far as blowouts. Not very many upsets when it comes down to it, and that may be the part that's surprising for more people than not. But overall, when you make your way through this, man, it hasn't been the start that I thought it would be. Not as many close games that I had hoped for. But let's start off. Saturday night is when everything kicked off, and the Milwaukee Bucks lost to the Indiana Pacers 117-98. Now, this was not a surprise for many people, right? When it came down to it, is that, I looked at this team with the Milwaukee Bucks, and while their defense has been playing very much better, right? It against a team like the Indiana Pacers, with how high powered their offense can be, and the fact that they can do something defensively at times when needed, right? You didn't even need a big night from Tyrese Halliburton, which to me signals the biggest concern if I was the Milwaukee Bucks. You only got 10 points, 3 of 13 from Tyrese Halliburton, but they still beat you by almost 20 points, right? That should be the concern there when it comes down to it. Like, that should be a huge concern, actually. Pascal with 25, Miles Turner with 19, Nimbrand with 17 points. You got 13 from Benedict Mathurin off the bench, 11 from TJ McConnell as well. And this was just a game where, listen, the Indiana Pacers, they came out 33 points in the first quarter, 34 points in the second quarter. That's 37 points in just the first half. I'm sorry, I can't count correctly, apparently. 67 points in just the first half of the game, right? That's more than basically what the Memphis Grizzlies put up in the first 2.5 quarters in their game. We'll get to that here in a second, right? And it just, the Pacers won 3 out of 4 quarters in this game. And the Milwaukee Bucks are really going to have to figure out something because, listen, they're going to need a lot more than just the 36 points that Giannis Antetokounmpo. 36 points in that starting lineup came from Giannis Antetokounmpo. Other than him, only 14 points out of the starters in there. Kuzma was 0 for 5. Taurean Prince was 0 for 1. Rollins was 2 for 12. Brook Lopez was 3 of 6. You need more than that. Now, yeah, you got solid contributions off the bench. Gary Trent Jr. gave you 14 points. Kevin Porter Jr. gave you 12 points. You got 15 coming off the bench from A.J. Green, but you're just going to need more than that if you're really going to balance this thing out. And that's what the Milwaukee Bucks really need to be focused on heading into game 2, right? Then you had the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Clippers, and the Nuggets pulled this game out by 2 points. 110-112. This was one of the best games to get so far throughout the first round. Again, only one game's going around. Russell Westbrook, right? You gotta think things are so cathartic for Russell Westbrook, right? Because people have just labeled him as the problem child, right? So much has come out since Mike Malone's firing of the preferential treatment he got, caused a wedge within the locker room and all that. And he comes out here, puts up 16 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 assists, and he has such a major part of that game, especially, you look at they outscored them 14-2 in the overtime period as well, and that was fueled by Russell Westbrook and in that comeback that they had. And the Clippers, listen, this is still a series that can go either way. Make no mistake about it. It's good that the Denver Nuggets won here on the opening game on their home court. But, you're going to have to really look at some things. You got 29 points, 9 rebounds, 12 assists from Nikola Jokic in this game, which is really great. 25 from Aaron Gordon, 21 from Jamal Murray. But the Denver Nuggets, they're going to have to figure this thing out, man. The Clippers are going to have to because, listen, you allowed them to come back in this game All right, the Clippers, who put up 35 points in the first quarter of this game, only 18 in the second quarter, 22, 23 respectively in the next couple of quarters, whereas the Denver Nuggets were just consistent, right? Those high highs and the low lows, if the Denver Nuggets were just a little bit more consistent throughout this game, the Los Angeles Clippers were more consistent throughout this game, they could have had the victory here. So they're going to go back to the drawing board, try to figure out some things. Again, their defense and things that they can do as well. Chris Dunn, I expect them to have a big game as well going forward. Then you got the Pistons and the Knicks. I did have the Pistons in this series, but for what it's worth, the New York Knicks came out and they balled out. 11-point victory in this game on their home court, which is really major. You don't want to lose home court advantage, especially to a younger team against you. And so, you look at this game, 23 points for OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson with 34 points in this game. Jalen Brunson, when he's on, could be such a special player, right? You got 14 points from Cam Payne off the bench. Karl-Anthony Towns with 23 points as well. Like, again, the New York Knicks were able to do enough. And while the question still exists around their defense and can they play at a high enough level, Tom Thibodeau always has his teams ready to go in the playoffs. Cade Cunningham with 21 points in this game didn't necessarily have his ability to hunt out Jalen Brunson like I initially thought he was going to. But, hey, listen, Jalen Brunson came in and put up a big game when it came down to it. Tom Thibodeau, after the game, saying, I think he grabbed his cape, and they needed every bit of that cape to make it go. And so, we'll see what happens. Right now, the Pistons are winless in postseason games since 2008. They haven't won a single playoff game since 2008. So, let's hope that they're able to get that over the course of the series as well. But that took care of the games on night one. And that was already a fun night as it is. No, I skipped one. My bad. The Minnesota Timberwolves 117-95 over the Los Angeles Lakers. And this game, listen here. Listen, a lot of people, and this is why I said, right, I was never a guy. You guys know I do Locked On NBA Monday through Friday with Matt Moore and Doug, where we hold it down there Monday through Friday, giving you your NBA content. And Matt Moore had he has this thought that the Lakers can win the title this year. I've never really been on that bandwagon, and that's not no knock on them. I think that they're going to be the better version of them is going to come after this offseason when they really had time to kind of rebuild that team around what Luke is now bringing to that team. But make no mistake about it, they can still go very far in this playoffs, and in no way am I counting them out after one game. 37 points from Luka, 19 from LeBron James, 16 from Austin Reeves. But the thing that I've always said in this is that Anthony Edwards has the possibility to be the best player on the court in just about any series. You got 22 points from him, but 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 1 steal. He just picked his spots a lot more intentionally in this game. Jaden McDaniels had 25 points, surprisingly leading this team in scoring. 23 off the bench from Naz Reid. And what the Golden State Warriors were able to really do in this game is just attack it. They were in attack mode literally since the opening tip-off. Right now, the Lakers did win that first quarter 28-21, but then the Minnesota Timberwolves came marching back 38 points to 20, winning that by 8 points. They had 35 points in the third quarter. They held the Lakers to 17 in the fourth quarter when it comes down to it. And despite Luka Doncic having 37 points, man, hey, and Anthony Edwards uplifting his guys after the game, saying, I got a great group of guys, but it wasn't tonight. I learned that in training camp. It just takes a minute for us to gel as a new team. I just took a minute for us to figure each other out, and I feel now we just go. And Anthony Edwards has been saying that, like, even throughout the season with his disappointment at times, where he did talk about his disappointment with the team, he put himself right there with them. Then as they were playing better, he uplifted that and talked about how good the team was playing over the ending part of that season. This is a Minnesota team right now that is playing physically, that is playing with the most confidence that they've had all season as well, right? And they're going to try to make this game very, very physical. You come into it, you snatch home court advantage away from the Los Angeles Lakers now. Let's see if you can hold on to it. But this is where the Minnesota Timberwolves are just they came into this game and they understood the assignment and they just outright took care of business. And that's what you got to love from a team like this that just takes care of business and gets shit done. So very good night from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Good game from them. But then let's switch to the second night of basketball, and this was a night where, man, it was a lot of craziness happened on Sunday night around the NBA. Namely, so what a lot of people are going to talk about is the Oklahoma City Thunder absolutely blasting the Memphis Grizzlies, winning that game by 51 points. The largest game one victory, biggest discrepancy in scoring, I think they said ever, right? So OKC Thunder takes the lead 1-0, right? And not to say that I expected like the Memphis Grizzlies to win this series or anything. I did predict the OKC Thunder to be able to pull this series away, but it's the manner. Like the Memphis Grizzlies were top 10 offense and defense last season. Or this season. And they came into this game. Jaren Jackson Jr. gives you nothing. 4 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Zach Edey, 4 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist in this game. He had 2 turnovers. Combined, your front court had 5 turnovers in this game and only 12 rebounds, right? That's not good. Ja Morant, he was bad too, right? And so many people are making it about Jaren Jackson Jr., but let's not act like Ja had a good game either. He was 6 of 17 for 17 points. He didn't play good. The whole starting line, Desmond Bane with 9 points, Scottie Pippen Jr. with only 2 points. Shout out to Marvin Bagley for putting in work off the bench with 17 points. Shout out to him there, but like you need much more in this team. And the OKC Thunder, who've been beating teams by a historic point differential and net rating this season, continue this off in a crazy fashion to start this game. You had 19 points and 10 rebounds in 21 minutes of play from Chet. Jalen Williams with 20 points in 26 minutes. Isaiah Hartenstein with 14 and 8 and 6 in his 21 minutes on the court. SGA with 15. He didn't even need to do a bunch of heavy lifting. He only took 13 shots, went 4 of 13 from the field, and you still beat the Memphis Grizzlies by 50-plus points. That this OKC Thunder team is just different, man. I know there's been some doubt still around them coming into the season, but I tell you what, I don't know. I don't know how much more doubters are going to be able to hunt them out, man. The Boston Celtics also beat the Orlando Magic 103-86, keeping that blowout pace going, right? They play absolutely well. Paolo Banchero had 36 points in that game last night. Really good to see Paolo be able to score that way. But the Boston Celtics are just such a dangerous team, man. They took 37 threes and hit 16 of them, right? The Orlando Magic took 27 and only hit 10, but despite Franz and Paolo combining for 59 points in this game, it wasn't enough, right? Because you only got 10 other points from your starting lineup as a whole. You need more than that, right? And that was the thing that really prevailed in this opening game. And listen, the Orlando Magic, I think, are a really good defensive team. And I do think they're going to be able to take a game or two in this series. But this first game, it didn't leave much hope or desire for that much because they allowed a 31-point quarter in the second quarter for the Magic to score that. But other than that, they didn't break 20 in any other quarter in this game. That was ugly. It was disgusting. And the Orlando Magic really need to go back to the drawing board and ask themselves, who the fuck are they? Because I tell you what, that looks more like the Magic team that struggled this season than the Magic team that started to turn it around on the back half of the season. They're going to need much better than that. The Miami Heat also get blown out by 21 points on the road to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't know how much surprise it is there. Donovan Mitchell in this game with 30 points. Davion Mitchell leading the Heat on the other side leading them overall in play, but he had 18 points on the other side of that. You had Tyler Hero with 21, Bam with 24, but it just wasn't enough in this game. Davion Mitchell continues to really impress me though. He had 18 points, 9 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal. That's after an amazing last playing game that he played against the Atlanta Hawks. But this game, man, the Cleveland Cavaliers looked exactly like who we thought they were going to be. Their balanced attack on offense and defense. You had Donovan Mitchell, who's kind of been playing a backseat in a way, not really going off like we know that he can, and we thought that he could save it for the playoffs. 11 of 19 for 30 points. You had 27 from Darius Garland, too, though. Only 9 from Evan Mobley, but you didn't need it, right? What he did defensively was enough. 12 points from Jared Allen in this game, but 28 points from Ty Jerome coming off the bench in this one as well. It was different, man. That's what it was out there. It was different. It was really good to see the Cleveland Cavaliers continue their hot play into the playoffs. You do want to avoid a letdown in game one. And a letdown in game one is what happened to the last game we're going to talk about. One of the series I was most excited for, hell, we were live on the channel for this game, was the Golden State Warriors versus Houston Rockets. Youth versus experience, right? That's what this series was shaping up to be like. And early in this game, it was an ugly defensive game. Neither team's offense really looked great at all, right? You had Houston Rockets winning the first quarter 21-18, but then the Golden State Warriors started turning up, right? 29 points scored by the Warriors in the second quarter of this game, only 13 for the Houston Rockets. And even though the Houston Rockets made it interesting, got closer in the game, there were time periods where they looked like they still could win this game in the fourth quarter, but every time they went on a run, the Golden State Warriors had to answer, whether it was Steph or Jimmy hitting big shots, right? Podziemski hit some big shots in this game, even though he scored 14 points in this game. Some big stops as well. Moses Moody hit a couple of big shots, even though he didn't have the biggest statistical output. And overall, you're just looking at this game and you're seeing the experience from the Golden State Warriors really play off. And also the Houston Rockets offense, like it was a lot of Alperen Sengun isolation plays, which really did work for them. I think he scored 13 out of their first 22 points or something like that. He finishes the game with 26 points. But then there were some head-scratching plays in the half court, right? Some just breakdowns in this that just did not really – it didn't go well. It didn't go well for this team, and so they're going to have to figure it out. But I think overall – what this first game showed, and if this continues to be the story in this series for the Houston Rockets, is that those rumors of them needing or trying to go out and find a go-to scorer this offseason, that's where this really proved to me. Amen Thompson, there were some times where he wouldn't, and he had made some really good creative passes, right? But also some times where he did some things that was like, hey, you should have just try to draw a foul there or something, right? He was 0 for 4 from the free throw line. We know that is one of his Achilles heels, so there's that part of it as well. Dylan Brooks had 11, but overall, I'll say this. The Houston Rockets have to find more offense. They just do. And if they don't find more offense, it's going to be tough to keep up. You can make this game an ugly defensive game, which they did for about the first 2 to 2.5 quarters in this game, but you can only do that so much against the Golden State Warriors because once Steph gets a rolling and going off, he went 5 of 9 from three-point range in this game. I mean, you got to just hold on and pray at that point in time. And, that prayer, God wasn't answering. He wasn't listening to those prayers in this go-around. So they're going to have to figure it out, man. But, yeah, I think really this bad start to the playoffs just really proves that they do need that go-to scorer. And I don't know if that scorer is on this roster right now, right? For what it's worth as well, coming into this series, I said this could come down to how many good games do you get from how many good Jalen Green games do you get, right? He was 3 of 15 in this game, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, only 7 points, and you need more than that. Sengun showed his side. He stood up and did his side of the bargain. You need Jalen Green or somebody else to step up consistently on the offensive side of the ball. Their defense is there. They have a legit, almost championship caliber defense. But you still have to have offense in this league. This is no longer with just defenses win you championships. You got to be able to score when it matters the most, and that's where this Houston Rockets team is falling short right now. They cannot score the ball when it matters the most, and so because of a team like the Golden State Warriors, who are still no slouch defensively, had way more offensive firepower, the Houston Rockets were just left there not really having enough to really compete, contend, or whatever you want to call it with this Golden State Warriors team. Now, the Rockets cannot lose a second game at home against the Golden State Warriors if they want to have a chance to win this series. Game 2 is going to be hugely important for this Rockets team if they don't want to let this series already start slipping out of their fingers before it even really gets a chance to start. And that's what the Houston Rockets are going to have to look forward to. But tonight, we got the New York Knicks versus Detroit Pistons game 2 going down today. It's going to be an important one for both these teams as well. I expect a really good game from this one. And then you got Denver and Clippers going down tonight as well. We will be live on the channel during the Denver Los Angeles Clippers game. That is the game that we will be hosting a live watch party for. So hit the subscribe button with the bell notification so you know when we go live for that. But otherwise, man, these playoffs are off to a really good start. And I think that when you see everything and all the storylines that are going on right now, Ty Jerome having big game, the OKC Thunder blowing the Memphis Grizzlies out of the water, the old guys in the Golden State Warriors beating the young team, all these things that are happening right now and these storylines happening around the playoffs. Because listen, this is a really good potential for these series to turn around really good for you. But I hope that we see less blowouts in games too. So many blowouts in the opening games of these series, man. For me, it's just a watcher. It's not something that really intrigues me, but I know you have no control over that. The teams are going to go out and play how they play, and we'll see where the chips fall where they may after that point in time. Before we go as well, Just a quick aside, Cooper Flagg has officially declared for the 2025 NBA draft. I don't think there's really much question on that. I know there's been some talk after him saying he'd love to come back to school and things like that. He will now officially be in the draft. They dropped a really nice hype video to announce that he's going into the NBA draft. He's going to be the number 1 overall pick. And I guess we're going to get to see once the draft lottery goes down where that pick is going to sit and which team he's going to go to. But that's my time for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys are following us at NBA Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, NBA Central Show at gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number 1 spot for everything basketball related. And I'll see you guys the next time I feel like making a video, probably tomorrow. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.